It's round 4 of the RX150 Championship within the British Rallycross Championship. It's day 2 of a double header here at Pembrey, and today we're running in the anti-clockwise direction. We're a bit low on numbers this weekend, but the action has been as good as ever. Chrissy Palmer, multiple champion, quickest in Q1 and Q2. John Armstrong topping the times in Q3. So we're ready for the final then, with Chrissy Palmer on pole, John Armstrong with him at the front of the grid, and then journalist and broadcaster Hal Ridge. Stuart Oliver is the man on the second row, the 10 times British Truck Racing Association champion, and he has been getting better and better every time he's hit the track. The lights will go green now to get us underway. Good start by Ridge, a little bit of wheel spin from Armstrong in the purple car. He's going to drop back then as these RX150s go to the loose for the first time through Ollie's. And it's Chrissy Palmer who leads the way then. In second spot, Hal Ridge, who has been trading his overalls and the steering wheel for his notebook and his microphone over the course of the weekend. And to the Joker lap goes rally driver turned e-gamer turned rallycrosser John Armstrong. So that will drop him back in the pack. Let's see what progress forward he can make when everybody else serves their Joker. Chrissy Palmer then leads the way. Really frustrating season this has been for Chrissy. The car has, for the last couple of seasons, suffered with an electrical problem. It seems to cut out at will, and that's plagued him more than ever this year. And really, he's nothing left to prove in RX150s. He's won championship after championship after championship. He's won race after race. It would be great to see him now in a supercar, just to see what he could do. He comes then through Senna's down towards the loose section at Ollie's. There going through is Stuart Oliver, getting quicker and quicker all the time. A very different sort of discipline this from truck racing, in which he has made his name. Oh so briefly, a competitor in the British Touring Car Championship too, a good number of years ago. Now, Chrissy Palmer leads the way. Can this be his first win of the season? He's all sideways and scrubbing off speed across the loose. John Armstrong there battles his way up alongside Hal Ridge, but Ridge stays ahead of him. Hal Ridge on the Joker then, gets ahead of Armstrong. Oliver runs second for the moment, but he's got to serve the Joker yet. But this is the battle. Hal Ridge versus the purple sideways car of John Armstrong. Through together they come. Out of the chicane, meantime, comes Chrissy Palmer, trying to build that gap, and also with everything crossed, that he's not going to have any rogue problems here. Hal Ridge defending nicely. We saw him in RX150s at the back end of last year at Silverstone, and here he is for this double-header weekend, keeping Armstrong at bay. John Armstrong closing up just a little as they turn through the left-hander of Ollie's onto the loose again. Now Palmer avoids the Joker lap this time. He's still pushing. He's still trying to build up that lead. There going through is Oliver in second spot, and Armstrong gets all sideways behind and has lost it. John Armstrong comes to a halt in the middle of the track. Now he's got to fire it up, get going again, which he does, but momentum lost, ground lost, and a potential decent result lost as well, unfortunately. So Hal Ridge coped with the pressure and has managed to hang on to the place here. He now sprints his way up towards paddock as they're going through is Stuart Oliver. Are we going to see more of him in Rallycross? It would be good if we did, although that said, the truck racing calendar is a pretty busy one, what with the British and the French championships that he competes in from time to time. Doesn't do that many of the European rounds anymore, sadly. And there, going through the chicane, onto the loose is Chrissy Palmer. This brings him from Ollie's onto the loose section once again. In the background, Oliver goes for the Joker lap, and Chrissy Palmer looking as though this finally is going to be the maiden victory of the season. All he's got to do now, is not make a mistake and also hope the car is reliable for him. Change for second place. Hal Ridge then goes ahead of Stuart Oliver, who served that Joker lap, drops back accordingly. Palmer flings the car through the Brooklands hairpin. And now, is this going to be an easy run to the checkered flag? He's shaken them all off as they've been jokering. Chrissy Palmer ticks off the laps. Through he comes yet again. There is Stuart Oliver. Now his target, of course, is Hal Ridge. The joker in the pack, as it were, is John Armstrong, because that big spin has cost him so much time. He's really out of the equation. And a fourth place result isn't really indicative of his normal pace nor ability. Towards Hanson's goes this second and third battle. Can Oliver come back at Hal Ridge here? Stuart Oliver, there he is, number 27, sprinting his way across the loose. And he's chasing Hal Ridge for all he is worth now through that little chicane that brings you through paddock down towards the hairpin. Onto Speedway straight now goes Hal Ridge second. There third is Stuart Oliver. The gap is not coming down, so Stuart, in fairness, still adapting to dual surface competition and something much lower than a racing truck. He has acquitted himself pretty nicely. There though, Chrissy Palmer goes through for the last time in the car that's normally driven by Kevin Feeney. Stuart Oliver turns his way towards the loose section once more, but he's not really closing now on Hal Ridge sufficiently to make this look as though he's going to jeopardise Hal Ridge's second spot. John Armstrong is still absolutely charging, but too much time wasted with that spin earlier on, and he's absolutely on the ragged edge, as you can see. Across the loose then. For the last time comes Hal Ridge, set for second place, but the race leader, Chrissy Palmer, is soon, surely, to become race winner for the first time this year, and also to give us 4 different winners in 4 rounds, which actually for RX150s is very rare in recent years, because Chrissy Palmer has been just so dominant. The checkered flag is at the ready. He accelerates his way now up towards the timing line, and finally it is a win this year for Chrissy Palmer. He wins at Pembrey. Hal Ridge takes second, and third goes the way of Stuart Oliver. John Armstrong will come across the line in 4th place, frustrated. Hal Ridge then takes second spot, but there's no time to celebrate because there's another notebook to pick up and more reporting duties in the paddock to do. Chrissy Palmer, though, has finally done it this year. He wins round 4. A race win for Chrissy Palmer from Hal Ridge and Stuart Oliver. John Armstrong, after his spin, a rather distant 4th. In the championship now, 4 rounds in, Chrissy Palmer has the advantage over the absent Steve Jones. John Armstrong up to 3rd ahead of Hal Ridge, who can now face the microphone courtesy of Ollie O'Donovan.
And just to top our day out here today, we had a very young superstar. Hal Ridge was racing our buggies, and Hal had finished. How did you get on, Hal? What do you think of your buggy racing?
It was actually easier in the wet than it was in the dry, just being a little bit more careful on the throttle. Yeah, amazing experience. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, and yeah, a lot of fun.
Well, I say you've done very well. To finish second in these conditions in a buggy would not be an easy task at any time, and you really drove exceptionally well. I watched the race all the way through.